So once you reach that state, will I be able to live in this world? Yes, you can live in this world. Because you reach to the source, you have deeply rooted there. Then you can grow and move and function in the world. Function in the world as a blissful, happy person, not as a miserable worm, which we think ourselves to be. So you can function in the world. Now he says, this state of this experience you got is described by people in different ways. Some people call it Sa Brahma, Sa Shiva, Sa Indraha, Sa Aksharaha, Paramaswarad, Sa Eva Vishnuhu, Sa Pranaha, Sa Kalaha, Sa Agnihi, Sa Chandramaha. Some people call it Brahman, Brahma. Some people call it Shiva. Some people call it Indra. Indra means the shining. Some people call it Aksharam. Akshara means the immutable, changeless. Some people call it Parama, supreme. Some people call it Swarad, self-luminous. Some people call it Vishnu, all-pervasive. Vishnu, Vyapagattvad, Vishnu is all-pervasive. Some people call it Prana. Because without prana, you are not there. So prana holds everything together. Some people call it prana. Some people call it kala, time. In time everything appears, in time everything disappears. So time, kala, kala, another word, kala. Some people call it Agni, the great energy. Agni, fire, energy. They give the word energy. Some people call it Chandrama. Chandrama means the mind, the moon, the mind. So you can use different words to indicate, finally point to the same truth. Whatever words you use. You can call it Allah also. You can add Allah or God, Jesus. Add all those words. Put all of them in one basket. But what is important is, do you have the experience is the question. Are you happy is the question. Are you going into, do you want to kill the other, murder the other, or do you want to live in harmony with the other? So any state of mind which breeds intolerance is unacceptable. Any state of mind which breeds tolerance and accommodation is this state. That's a secular way of saying it. A secular way of saying it. When you have this experience, by whatever name you call it, the test of the pudding is, are you accommodating? Are you tolerant? That is the question. If you are accommodating and tolerant, call it by any name. If you are not, you are still far away from the truth. So that's why I say it can be called by any name. What matters is your deepermost experience, your inner bliss. That's what matters, not what word you use. We don't care for the words. You don't care for the images. But we care for the experience. You may say, I am a Ganesha Upasaka, but you are shouting and screaming and fighting with everybody, then what's the point? So it is not what image you worship, what word you use. It is the quality of your experience which distinguishes you from the other people. So with this, your meditation is over. Now, when this state is achieved, how will you deal with the world? How will you deal with the people uphold different kind of philosophies? How will you deal with people who think differently? Everybody may not think the way you think, and you have to encounter them. In your house you may have to encounter. Your son may not believe all those things. How will you cope with it? Or in the workplace, you find different people. So when you encounter people who think differently, who look differently, who behave differently, how do you deal with them? That is being said in the next two slokas, mantras, which, do you have the time? Can you stay for another 5 minutes? Then I can finish that. So, because it's a continuation of this. Sa eva sarvam yad bhutam yaccha bhavyam sanadanam jnatva tam mrityumatyedi nanya pantha vimuktaye. So, sa eva sarvam. So, when you reach that level of depth and look at the world unfolding in front of you, you feel a certain affinity, love, accommodation. You feel everything is me. Meaning, when you say everything is me, you love everything, you accommodate everything, you respect everything. Everything has got a place and meaning in your consciousness. That's the meaning of everything is me. Yet, sa eva sarvam. So whatever I have known about myself, that infinite blissful consciousness, everything is an expression of that. Nothing is other than that. Sa eva sarvam. Yad bhudam, what was in the past. Yad bhavyam, what shall be in the future. Everything is the same sanadanam, the same truth which I have realized. So you become a loving, caring person. That is the ultimate result. It is not that you will grow a pair of horns. When you realize Brahman, you will pair of horns or canine teeth and tail, and no, that's not the idea. The idea is you become a loving person. So, sa eva sarvam yad bhudam yaccha bhavyam sanadanam jnatva tam mrityumatyedi. Knowing this, you go beyond mrityu, fear. Mrityu means fear. You become totally fearless. Na anya pantha vimuktaye. There is no other path for liberation other than accommodating difference, not eliminating difference. When you try to eliminate difference, to homogenize everything, then you will be the loser. Then you will be living in superficial levels. The only way to be a free person is to accommodate and accept difference, dissent. So, the more you fight, the more you become like your victim, isn't it? So, accommodation is the golden rule for living a happy. Suppose the children doesn't listen to you. They have a different view, you have a different view. You want them to get up at 3 o'clock and they will get up only at 10 o'clock. You want them to study in the morning, they want to study in the late night. They want to watch TV and Western music, you want to watch Indian classical music. You want to watch your serial, they want to see National Geographic, let's say. And there is possibility. So how do you solve this issue? You have to respect that person, his needs, his desires, and intelligently create a space for both. That is the only way to live. Otherwise you can catch his throat and say either my way or all the way to the highway. You can say that. You can say that. That's not going to solve any problem. So can we create space? And sukha means creating space. Su, plenty, kha, space. Isn't it? Can we create space is the question. Dukkha means shrinking space. I have no space for everybody, anybody. So if you can create a space for difference and dissent, people who think differently, that is called freedom and moksha. So, na anya pantha vimukti. Otherwise, there is always fear, because other is different. He may eat me up, or I have to eat him up. I know there is only two strategies. Either I eat him up or you eat me up. So, you have to create space. And continuing, sarva bhudastham atmanam sarva bhudani cha atmani sampashyan brahma paramam yadinanye na heduna So sarva bhudastam atmanam. I see myself in everybody. They think differently. They eat differently, they dress differently, they worship differently, but I see the same spirit expressing in him in that particular way, and the same spirit expressing in me in my way. Same spirit, like electricity, expresses differently through different devices. Similarly, the same spirit expresses through different people. So it is not homogenization on the superficial level. It is discovering the unity in a very deep level and letting differences flourish on the other levels. Like a garden, many flowers, many plants. Make a garden. The one plant, doesn't make a garden. It will be a commercial garden, not a spiritual place. So, sarva bhudastam atmanam, see myself stham, abiding, living in all beings, with all their differences, without reducing them into one homogeneous entity, one homogeneous pulp. Don't do that. Let there be variety and difference. The more the merrier. So if somebody think differently, it's an interesting thing, isn't it? Everybody think the same way, it's boring. We'll be bored to death. Let people think differently. Let people eat differently. Let people dress differently. Let people have different values. And you hold on to your value. The problem is when somebody lives differently, we doubt ourselves. Am I doing something wrong? So either I have to convert him to my faith or I have to get converted into his. That is all shows insecurity, lack of self-confidence. So sarva bhudastam atmanam, sarva bhudani cha atmani. All these varieties which manifest, called Buddhas, they all are manifestation of the same principle. But same principle is so incredibly creative. It wants to manifest in different ways. That is what creativity is all about. So you must have a comfort level with the different things, differences. Sarva bhudani cha atmani sampashyan, seeing this, Brahma paramam yadi, you reach the supreme, you say. Nanyena heduna, not by any other means, not by any other way. And I think this principle will be the religion of the future. This principle. And which we have always been saying, unity in diversity. Encouraging diversity. So that you can go deep into yourself. If you create homogeneity, you cannot go deep. The more diverse, the deeper you can go. These days we talk about biodiversity, all the kind of diversities. So this is what the crux of our religion. So sarva bhudastam atmanam sarva bhudani chatmani sampashyan brahma paramam yadi nanyena heduna. By no other means can you reach this state of depth and character and stability.